Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Zhong Hua TV. This week, coming to you from the town of Mildura. Before the arrival of European sheep grazers in 1857, the local indigenous people were attracted to the area because of the abundant food supply around the banks of what is now called the River Murray. Today, Mildura is a rural Australian icon, the centre of a wine, fruit and citrus industry that powers its economy and provides the raw produce for its renowned local food scene. But why, you ask, would Zhong Hua TV want to drive 530 kilometres from Melbourne to visit a town on the banks of the Murray? And the answer is art. Back in April, the Australian Art and Culture Federation was formed by a culturally diverse group of media professionals, academics, artists and community leaders to promote the idea that even in a country of over 200 languages, some things truly unite us. It's a simple idea, but one that spawned an ambitious plan to create a round Australia travelling art show. Cue the Roaming Australia 2013 tour, and cue Mildura. The Zhong Hua TV team have come to Mildura for a crucial meeting with local community leaders as we prepare the groundwork for Roaming Australia and also make plans for the documentary series we aim to film on the road. The pressure is on, but thankfully in Mildura, there's always time for a good breakfast.
Hi, I'm Mary. I love Mildura because it's the weather's great. It doesn't rain very often, which is too bad for the farmers, but it's good for the locals. And the river, love the river. It gets into your blood. It feels part of you, really.
Well, we've just had a fantastic breakfast here at Stefano's. It's been absolutely lovely, and we met two really fantastic local ladies, and it's on their advice that we are now going to go and check out the River Murray. Isn't that right, Christy? All right, I reckon we go now.
Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, so the River Murray, Christy, is really important to Australians and in Australian history, because not only is it the biggest river, like by some distance, but once it was discovered by European settlers particularly, it did what they call opening up the inland. So you've got things like this steamboat here, and it meant that rather than just clinging to the coast, that the settlers could move into the inland and farm it and do all those other things. Now, although that was bad news for the Aboriginals, it was very good news for the European settlers. So in a way, the River Murray is like Australia's Yangtze, if you know what I mean. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Should we go and have a look down here?
Yeah, sure.
All right, come on. So, Christy, you know, the importance of the paddle steamer is that it really, this was a navigable river, so they could sail ships down it, which meant that stuff that was grown here could be shipped down to a place like Adelaide, and then it could be exported, or it could like go to the cities and be sold. So, you know, these kind of things were not only about tourism, but about trade. And again, you know, it's kind of that Yangtze thing, you know, it's like the lifeblood of Australia.
So trading food or...
Trading food, mail, they used to deliver mail, for instance. And of course they would ferry travellers to and fro all the way up and down the river. You know, and the river's like 2,500 kilometres, which is a pretty long river in anyone's book. So yeah, you know, these boats and this river are absolutely central to modern Australian history. And of course, it has to be said, the River Murray is also really, really important to the local Indigenous people. And it's a beautiful boat too, isn't it? As you may have noticed, the water levels in the River Murray at the moment are quite low, and that's because they're doing maintenance work on the river. So they open the weirs and let the summer floodwaters flow down to where the river meets the sea at Gula in South Australia. And speaking of the states of this country, this river also forms the border between New South Wales and our home state of Victoria. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's welcome to New South Wales. Coming up next, we head into our crucial meeting with the Mayor of Mildura and two key representatives from the local Indigenous community. Okay, so we're just about to head into a pretty important meeting here in at the Mildura Aboriginal Council. Let's go. Organising a nationwide art tour is no simple task, not the least because in order to succeed, Roaming Australia will need the support of big local players. That's why today's meeting is so crucial. Without local government and community support, Roaming Australia might well find itself stuck in Melbourne.
And I had a meeting about a week or two ago, and Jill very kindly pulled together a bit of a proposal.
Thanks to the tireless work of Australian Art and Culture Federation board member George Fagioli, Mildura's mayor Glenn Milne is on hand to chair the meeting. What we're looking to do is to find some way for different cultural groups to meet in a shared space.
Yeah.
You know, as we live in this magnificent country with all these people from all over the world who all speak different languages and may have different cultural values and traditions. And I guess we kind of taken the idea that if we can get them to meet in an art space where they can kind of see what we all have in common beneath our cultures. And that's kind of really what it's all about from our point of view. You know, we get a canvas or something and we go, okay, do something on here. Make a piece of art. Off you go. You know, and whoever's up for the challenge is up for the challenge. And then it kind of becomes symbolic of that union of cultural traditions and storytelling traditions in the one space.
I think it'd be great to do something like that.
Maybe get an Indigenous artist to run
Gets them involved.
Rainbow serpent and put them with the dragons.
Excellent. Yeah, great. Serpents and dragons.
That's why you're in the art field there, Jill. You're creative.
In fact, Jill,
thoughts flowing.
maybe Serpents and Dragons, or The Serpent and the Dragon, could be a kind of title.
Yes, that's
You know what I
a good
mean?
title.
Like this serpents,
Serpent
you know,
and dragons,
because
yes.
they've both got this kind of incredible mythical significance. And in a way, a serpent and a dragon aren't, as we imagine, that dissimilar in how they look. You know, so perhaps that can be our kind of working title for the event.
这个我们感到这个 Mildura 这个城市啊特别美啊。
Mildura is very beautiful.
Thank you.
它很自然
very natural.
很淳朴
And how to put it, very sort of unpolluted.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the way it is. Yeah.
而且呢也很有文化的味道
And very cultural. We've been to Stefano's and we've been walking up and down. You can sense this culture thing.
Yeah.
尤其是方才坐在这儿啊看到大家为这个 Mildura 这个城市的文化的盛会哈那么用心啊而且是那么热心 让我也很感动。
And she has seen how we have been sitting just now discussing, trying so hard to make this happening, this art and culture exhibit happening. So she's very touched by all the efforts.
That's good.
Yeah.
这个我们呢，行走澳洲的这个整个的活动啊，那个 Mildura 就是我们的开始，第一站。
So Mildura will be the first official stop of our whole road in Australia.
That's good.
Yeah.
We like that.
The meeting is a huge success, and plans for next month's exhibition event are put in place. So much so that local arts coordinator Jill Anthony is keen to take us to the proposed venue. After the long drive from the city, it seems that all our efforts are paying off. The Mildura Arts Centre is perched on the banks of the River Murray in the grounds of one of Mildura's truly historic homes, Rio Vista. We're here in front of what the locals in Mildura called the Old House, and it was built by the Chaffee brothers from Canada, and they were the two pioneers of irrigation in this area. And of course, as they'll tell you here, it's irrigation that made this land sprout, and all the fruit orchards and all the vineyards around here are all a result of what these guys, the Chaffee brothers, set up way back in the 19th century. Let's go inside and take a look, shall we? Well, we're here in the original house built by the Chaffee brothers from Canada, who were the guys who set up the irrigation around the area, and this is their magnificent dining room. In 1887, the Chaffee brothers chose an old sheep station as the site for their grand irrigation experiment, and the modern township of Mildura was born. Well, there's some fantastic stained glass windows in this house, some of which represent kind of what happens here in Mildura, and particularly grape growing. Absolutely beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it takes a genius to work out what this little thing would have been used for. This was what people used to wash themselves in before we had showers and baths and all of that bathroom vanity stuff. People used to stand in tubs like this and wash themselves, quite probably in cold water. I don't like the sound of that personally. Okay, so now here's another piece of, if you like, Victorian domesticity here, because in the days before we could go to the main street and buy whatever clothes we liked, a lot of people, even the wealthy, used to make their own clothes, or at least repair them. This is an incredibly old sewing machine, but what you can feel is how absolutely solid it is. It's incredible. Certainly nothing lightweight and plastic about this little beauty, that's for sure. Well, there's one thing for sure, they certainly built things to last in those days. This is an incredibly solid and fantastic piece of machinery. And I think the thing that really stands out is that no electricity. How about that? No plastic either. Just as the Chaffee brothers had harnessed the river for its irrigation potential, making the surrounding land suitable for vineyards and orchards, so Mildura was opened up by the arrival of the railway. Although road trains and aeroplanes have superseded the locomotive, Mildura's train lines remain as a testament to the history of European commercial expansion into the Australian hinterland. So just as the rail and the river that we've seen were pivotal in connecting Australia back in the 19th and early 20th centuries, in the 21st century now with international travel and the internet, it really is the role of things like art to connect and bring people together. And that is really what the Roaming Australia exhibition is all about. Taking people from different parts of the world, from different cultural perspectives, and bringing them together. After the break, we hit the local mall and celebrate our team's success in classic Aussie style. When the board of the Australian Art and Culture Federation first decided to create the 2013 Roaming Australia event, they must have been wondering whether the regional towns they had chosen for their nationwide tour would be ready. I'm here in the main mall in the centre of Mildura, and we're going to go and ask a few locals what they think of the possibility of a Chinese art exhibition in their hometown. Let's go. We're from Chinese TV, and we are actually in the process of putting together an art exhibition that incorporates Indigenous and Chinese art. So I'm wondering if you think that would be a good thing to bring to Mildura.
Yeah, I reckon that sounds great. That'd be good.
Yeah. Do you reckon you'd attend that?
Yeah, cool.
Beautiful.
I'll go there. You
Excellent.
go there?
What about yourself?
Yeah, I'll go there.
What do you think about the idea of combining Aboriginal art with art from China?
Well, just like to try something different and mix like the two different nationalities together to like, it could like form quite an interesting art, like to something different. I think it would be quite good.
Do you know anything at all about Chinese art?
No, can't say I do.
Yeah, don't really go to galleries much.
Do you reckon this would tempt you though?
Yeah, of course, I'll go there for sure if that was it.
I reckon it'll be good to see what other people think about other things and stuff, like try something different.
And do you think that would be sort of something interesting and cool that could happen here in Mildura?
Yes, I do.
So do you reckon Mildura is a bit thin on the ground when it comes to fun things to do?
Yes, I do. Very boring sometimes.
Okay, we'll cut that bit out. Is it a good idea to combine things together?
I think so, because we all should be treated equally. So absolutely, we should all appreciate artwork from any area of people that want to, they have talent, so we all should be able to appreciate any art no matter who's done it.
Do you think it's a really cool idea for cultures to meet one another through the medium of art?
Yes.
And can you tell me why?
Because it's good for everybody to interact, and art's always a good way to do that because you can see everybody's cultures mixed into one.
Beautiful. Maybe you could comment about that?
I think the Chinese community or Asian community and the Aboriginals would go as one because it's two different types of art, and if it comes together it'd look really good.
We're planning an exhibition here, right here in Mildura, that's going to combine Aboriginal and Chinese art. So I'm just wondering, maybe, do you think that sounds like a really interesting and fascinating idea?
Yeah, definitely. It sounds really cool. Yeah.
And what do you think would be the most interesting part about that?
Just seeing like the mix, like seeing what the mix would be like. It'd be pretty good. Yeah.
You think that that's like a really good thing, and like helping people to sort of break down some of those preconceived barriers that exist between cultures?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing because you get to interact with everyone. You get to learn how they live, and they get to learn how we live. And so it's like, yeah, good to get to know each other and like all that kind of stuff.
I'm a primary school teacher here in Mildura, and I think that'd be great for our cross-curricular activities. Yeah, for sure.
Do you reckon you could tell me a little bit more about those cross-curricular activities?
Oh, for sure. We have an ADOC week, which is an Aboriginal week that we are celebrating at our school. Ours will be in August, however most do it in July. It's a really wonderful program, and we intertwine sort of the Indigenous community and their art, as well as their cultural beliefs and that sort of thing, into educating our younger society. So it's lovely.
People meeting one another in the flesh and being in the same room is maybe a good thing, and helps to combat racism and other negative attitudes.
Oh yeah, it probably helps them to maybe understand each other probably better, and gets probably makes them understand, hopefully.
Do you think it's really important that kids learn about the diversity of cultures?
Oh, absolutely. It's essential for our growing community, and really, really important for educating society in the future. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much. That's beautiful input. Thank you.
You're very welcome. A lot of editing. My lord.
Well, I think that just about sums up the spirit of what we're trying to do here, not only at Zhong Hua TV, but with the Roaming Australia exhibition. Marvellous. Art may well be food for the soul, and Mildura may already have plenty of that. But there's one other special little secret about this riverside town. It's a rural foodie's paradise. It's been an absolutely fantastic day here in Mildura with the Zhong Hua TV team, and we're here at the moment at the Mildura Brewery, one of the famous restaurants here in town, about to have a fantastic meal. And but before we start the meal, of course, in true Australian tradition, we've got these wonderful kind of tasting platters of beer, which we're just about to enjoy. So once again from Zhong Hua TV, it's Gumbe. I hope you're having as good a night as we are. Surrounded by some of Australia's best orchards, vineyards and fresh produce farms, Mildura has given rise to at least one internationally famous gourmet couple, Stefano Di Pieri and his wife, Donata Carazzo. I'm here in the Mildura Brewery with none other than Donata Carazzo. Donata, why don't you tell us what it is that you do here at the Mildura Brewery?
Sure, Paul. Well, we do a range of things. I guess the most important thing we do is brew our own beer right here in the CBD in Mildura. Yep. We brew 6 core lines of beer, which are on tap permanently and bottled in stubbies. Our beers are also themed and named after specific things that connect to Mildura, like our storms, our deserts, our wheat. We have a honey wheat beer.
Oh, wow.
We also like to use hops and barley, mostly barley from the area as well. Here, Paul, here's our winter warmer, our newest seasonal brew.
Lovely, beautiful.
Have a go, tell me what you think.
Cheers, Donna.
Cheers.
I have to tell you folks, there's nothing more Australian than a good beer. Gumbe. Oh, here comes Donna with the food. Okay,
you were hungry. You were
there we go.
Aren't you?
So this is the
If there's one thing that really unites the Chinese people with the Australian people, with the European people, it has to be food. And here we are in the brewery in Mildura, the restaurant run by Stefano Piero and his wonderful wife, Donata Carazzo, and they've just put on a fantastic spread for us. And what this proves is that it doesn't matter what your language is, we all understand what good food means. And that's what we're enjoying here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, George.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, let's begin.
Yeah, absolutely. These are done, I think.
Not only has it been a really, really good day here in Mildura for all of us here at the Zhong Hua TV team, we've had great meetings, we've met townspeople, we've just had an absolutely fantastic meal. But what this has really done is what we hoped it would do, which was set the scene for the 2013 Roaming Australia tour. And we're very much looking forward to you guys joining us on a tour of this fantastic country and seeing it not just through Chinese eyes, but through the eyes of all cultures, including the Indigenous people of this country. So with that thought, we leave you tonight. We hope you have a good week, and we hope to see you somewhere in Australia sometime soon. Cheers.
Very nice.
Oh, this one's quite light. This is almost a bit lagery, actually.
Is it?
Yeah,
This is nice.
That one's a bit spicier.
It is a little bit
Yeah.
spicy. Yeah, actually, it has got that spicy.
Yeah. Whereas this is more like a sort of summer beer.